Now we'll move on to question and answer session. So I request participants to there's one option of raise hand. So they can click on the raise hand option and I can unmute them and then they can ask the questions. Mr. Gupta, can you ask your question again?
So my question is, you have given the exemption for publication notice in newspaper, but there is no present exemption for publication of result in newspaper. So is it implied, or we have to publish the result in newspaper, because there are same problem in coming in the publication of the result also as problem in the notice. Number one. Number two, my question is that you have given the exemption for sending the physical annual report in case of VC meeting of the shareholder. If I hold the physical meeting of shareholder, whether I need to send the annual report physical or not, or that physical report is also exempted for physical shareholder of the meeting. I had two questions. Last submission that my company is facing problem in publication of audited result on the 30th June. So please consider my request. I have submitted already my request to at least consider the situation for some extension of the financial result. Okay.
Yeah. So as regards the first question of Mr. Gupta on publishing of advertisements, I think we have extended it till the 30th of June. So I think that is taken care of. I think if you look at regulation 47, in case if you're an equity company, in case if you're a debt company, 52(8). So we have extended that till the 30th of June. So I think that is taken care of. And as far as the second thing is concerned, see, conducting a physical meeting and printing an annual report physically are two different things. You can always conduct a physical meeting and still publish an annual report only through electronic mode. I think both are mutually exclusive. The third question is on the extension of financial results. SEBI has been receiving a lot of requests, and we are considering them. We will just we'll examine the case and then we'll see what we can do.
But financial results used to publish on the next date, that is on the 1st July or 2nd July.
Mr. Ajay Gupta?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sir, publication of result, you have given the exemption up to 30th June, but publication of financial result approved on 30th June used to be published on 1st or 2nd July. So whether 2nd of July is also exemption available to me?
No.
Okay, thank you.
The publication, it is, yeah. It's only the publication till 30th. If it goes beyond 30th, you'll have to publish.
Hello.
Mr. Shakar Vita, I have unmuted. You can ask a question.
Hello. Yes, I have my query, sir. We are receiving requests from the shareholders to send their previous annual reports or any other document, just like AGM minutes, etc., through speed post or courier. So even though we are sending it through email and mentioning them that due to unavailability of courier services, they are again sending mail to send the same through physical documentation. Whether it will be treated as any non-compliance on behalf of the company?
No, see, the requirements for sending physical things are only contained as far as the annual report are concerned. As far as the other things are concerned, they are not contained in the LODR, right?
Not exactly in LODR, but as per Companies Act and everything, for example, the director shareholding or some other AGM minimum.
No, that was precisely what I was trying to come to. So SEBI's jurisdiction extends to only what it has prescribed. And so whatever it has prescribed, I think we have already given an exemption as far as sending the annual report is concerned. The requirements of the Companies Act, that I think would be dealt with by MCA, though I don't think there will be a problem sending only the electronic form. That is only my personal view.
Okay.
If you're availing of the circular, which permits you to send all the papers by email with respect to the AGM, then you only need to send it by email to persons whose email addresses are available. Coming back to the issue of a shareholder specifically mentioning the mode by which documents should be sent to him, that is applicable during normal times. During COVID time, with respect to annual report, if you have not done it, you would not be said to be in non-compliance, because the circular very clearly provides for conduct of meeting through VC or other audio-visual means, which very clearly covers it. I'm talking in terms of giving the shareholder the right to inspect the documents. Even this circular of MCA says that you need to give him inspection right through electronic means. So long as you're in compliance, this would be an exceptional time where you would not be said to be in violation.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Shabnam Zaman, can you ask your question?
Yes, you are able to hear me?
Yeah. Please go on.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much on behalf of the corporates for allowing us so many relaxations so that we could comply with various compliances in time. I have only one request to Barnali ma'am, that being an NBFCs and considering the background of the prevailing unstable financial market, the provision related to large corporate borrowers where there is a requirement, if there's a shortfall in the incremental borrowing by 25%, there will be a provisions for penal clause. If the period, considering this scenario, if it can be extended by say for 3 years, so that will be a very big relief to NBFCs, because NBFC's raw material is money and we depend on the borrowings from various mode, which includes debentures as well as bankers. So that is my request. I have also written a letter to SEBI regarding this on 22nd May 2020, but so far I have not received any revert. And I would once again extend thanks on behalf of corporates, on behalf of company secretary fraternity for guiding us and for being very helpful, especially the exchange. They're very cooperative. Whenever we require any information, they promptly reply. And even SEBI being a regulator, that is my request only. Ma'am, it's my request only.
Your request is noted, and since you've already written a letter, we definitely will look into it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ashish Sarawal, can you ask a question?
Yeah, just at the cost of repetition, whether SEBI is going to extend timeline for considering the annual results of the company. If yes, by what date we will be able to know that? That is one. And also, please suggest how are we supposed to deal with window closure period? As let's assume if I am holding the board meeting on 30th June, my window will get open on 1st July, and again for Q1 I have to close my window. So how are we going to deal with it? And third, lastly, if I am issuing dividend warrant which has validity of 3 months period, since the courier services is not yet started, so as and when the courier service will resume and I'll get the stationery printed, can I put the current date so that investors won't be at loss and they will have full 3 months period? These are the 3 questions from my side.
I think, can I take that, Vishal?
Yeah, please.
As far as the dividend warrant thing, dating of dividend warrant thing, I think Ashish, what you need to do is, I think it's more of a banking thing rather than you can't put a date. Basically, it carries the date of the dividend when it's declared. So you cannot use a 3-month later period to date the dividend warrant. It is more of a banking concern. That's the first one. Second one, as far as the trading window is closed, considering the current situation, how the regulations are there, unless some exemption is given from the PIT regulations, it's we have to continue to close this window. There is no other way for that. There is no other way for it. So unless exemption comes from the PIT regulations, this will be we need to comply with Ashish. I think we can't go back in that. What's the first question, Vishal? Ashish, what was your first question?
So the same question, that whether are we going to get extension for announcing the annual financial results?
That's not my domain. Thanks.
Yeah.
As we have already discussed that we are considering, since we have received a lot of representations, we will see whether it can be done or not, but we cannot tell you any timeline as of now.
Okay, I appreciate.
We'll move on to the next question. Ms. Urvi Desai, can you ask your question?
Yeah, just taking Ms. Savitri Parikh's reply on the question of annual reports.
Any questions to reply? I mean, I could not hear the questions also. I'm sorry.
So Pradeep, we will be getting questions. So I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will unmute other participants, and maybe questions are mostly repetitive, I believe. So
Okay. No problem. Okay.
So for this financial year, 1920, we are not supposed to send the annual report in a physical mode. We are only supposed to send it in an electronic mode. But suppose once the situation normalizes, and after that we receive a request from a shareholder for sending the annual report in a physical mode, are we supposed to do it, or it will be treated sufficient compliance if we have sent it in an electronic mode?
Yeah, see, it is like this. See, first of all, you are not supposed to do anything. It is an option. There is no supposed to send the annual report. You can always, if you are able to find a printer, if you are able to find a courier service, then please go ahead and send physical things. Not an issue. Now, as far as the other part of your question is concerned, as to whether, in case a shareholder asks, because see, this AGM, this is valid for this year's AGM, okay, and we have said that the AGM has to be, I mean, you have time till the end of this year to do the AGM. So after that, in case a shareholder asks, I think there is no harm in sending them a physical copy. I mean, of course, we know a lot, because there is no provision which says no one can say no to a shareholder, because this is a shareholder democracy, as we call it. And we cannot say no, I will not send, everything is over. So, I mean, at least during this particular year, I think if someone asks, I think you can always send it. I mean, but just don't give ideas to them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mrs. Saludar, can you ask your question?
Yeah. Actually, I have one question that in my organization we have scheduled our board meeting on 29th June, and as per past practice, we usually publish the result on the very next day of the board meeting. So in our case, whether we need to still publish the results, because as per LODF in 48 hours we have to publish, and first 24 hours will complete on 30th June, and what we have to do.
No, I think we have already responded to that question, right? So we have said that in case that is only applicable till 30th of June. So any publication after the 30th of June will have to be made.
So in our case, we have to make the publication because it's a 48 hours of the board meeting we have to publish.
You can always publish, do it electronically on 30th also.
No, but my query is not clear, because I'm just saying it. My board meeting is on 29th June, and as per LUTR,
so you are supposed to do it within 48 hours, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can always do it within 24 hours also. If you are doing extending. Yeah, which is what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is that in case you do it before the 30th, that exemption is applicable. See, there should always be some cutoff date, right? So then it's natural. So now, anyways, now the companies have, I mean, the papers have started coming in many parts of the country. So that is why that exemption is there only till the 30th of June. In case you are publishing on the 1st of July, then you'll have to publish it on the physical newspapers. I think that is very clear in the circular.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
We'll move to next question. Mr. Pravesh Madan, can you ask your question? I have unmuted you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Basically, the same question. We have a board meeting on 30th June. So the only point is we need to, we can't publish on 30th only. So we have to publish on 1st July. So any guidance on that part?
Same answer.
So we
same
have to
question,
go
same answer.
So maybe I have not heard properly. So can you just help me?
Okay. If you have heard properly, I will again repeat. No, I will repeat. Since you have not heard. So the exemption for publishing in the newspapers is there only till the 30th of June. So anything that is done after the 30th, any publication, anything in case that not be an electronic only publication, that will be a stock exchange plus newspaper publication.
Okay, I got the point. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Preeti Sharma. So we have a question from Preeti Sharma.
Yeah, my question is related to the advisory of SEBI. If the company is disclosing its information as per Regulation 30 about the lockouts, about the reopening of the company, about like the small profitability and other things, and if it is not as per the order or as per the contents of the advisory, so is it like it will be a compliance or a non-compliance?
Madam, would you mind repeating? Would you mind repeating?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Actually, my question is related to the advisory of SEBI. Like, if a company is disclosing the information as per Regulation 30, the material disclosure, like the lockouts, like the reopening, and the other information which is important, which is material to the shareholders, but it is not as per the order or as per the contents of the circular. So, will it count under the compliance or the non-compliance?
I'll just say this advisory is something which has come. If you look at Regulation 30, Regulation 30 says that you have to disclose material events. One of the material events is that in case there is any disruption in business. So the reason why we came out with an advisory, and if you see again, I'm using the word advisory. The reason the advisory contains the things which will impact you, so that it is not in any particular order. Okay, so for example, so it's not in any particular order. It is an amalgam. It's a melange of multiple situations, different things which can impact your company. For example, staff, attrition, or maybe closure of factories, and ultimately the impact will be financial. Sometimes there are some people who have disclosed that unfortunately their CFOs have contracted the virus. So so these are all the multiple things. So there is no specific order of reporting. So as and when you come to know of a material event, you can report.
Okay, sir.
I believe. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.